Howdy, welcome back to the ranch. Yesterday I rode Bacardi in our new saddle and I recorded the ride so that I could watch it back. I know there are a lot of things wrong with this ride as I'm still a beginner rider, but watching this video back, I learned so much. Hey, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Karen and I'm a professional animal behavior consultant and trainer. My background includes over 15 years training animals and the people that care for them. I have been all over the country studying and teaching animal behavior, and now I'm focusing on my passion, working with horses using positive reinforcement strategies. I also operate a dog boarding and training kennel at my ranch, so that keeps me pretty busy too. If you like horses and learning about animal behavior, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. It would really help us reach our goals. So this is interesting. As we come around these ground poles, I put my leg on his right side and he does this kind of side pass, and he has this audible breathing that the camera picks up. And so to me, watching that back, it appeared to be a lot of processing for him. So he was trying to do what he was asked to do and he was really thinking about it. But in my mind, during the ride, I wasn't asking for the side pass. I thought I was asking him to turn to the right. Have not taught him to use my leg as an aid to side pass, but he does understand that the pressure on his side is for him to cross his legs over. So that was really neat to see. An interesting note is that the last time I took him to a show was a ranch versatility show, and he did his first side pass. I had never seen him do that before, although we have been to several shows where a side pass has been part of the pattern and we haven't been able to complete it, or I have been scared to complete it because it's not something that I knew how to ask for and it wasn't something that he knew. So that was really cool to see this. He does a lot of pushing his nose forward into the bit and chewing on the bit, and I have chosen to kind of ignore that behavior for now. Watching this back, I think he was trying to make some contact with the bit or trying to get some information. I'm still not 100% sure, but I'm beginning to wonder if this is his way of processing or maybe even asking for more information. But we just ignore that and keep on going. My big takeaway from watching this video is I was giving him information I didn't realize I was giving him. So I have to pay a lot more attention to what I'm saying to him through my seat and my legs and my hands, because I'm sending all kinds of information. I think this is where we were struggling in the ride, is that he was just overwhelmed with all the information. He wasn't really sure what it was that I wanted him to do. So he walks very slow when I get on him. I have been reluctant to ask him to go a little bit faster, but I was pleasantly surprised that on this ride, when I did ask him to go a little bit faster, he did, especially when we were going to the right. Now, when we were going to the left, whether it's on the ground or in this video when I was in the saddle, he is reluctant to go above a trot in that direction. He is dragging his feet over these ground poles, but later on in the ride, he starts to pick up his feet and he does much better. So I think he's just trying to gather lots of information here and he's not really quite sure what I'm going to do. Let me address the saddle because I really enjoyed this saddle. However, I fully recognize that my position is probably causing some of these problems. I am doing my best to have good posture. My stirrups are way too short, my knees are too high, so I will adjust that in our next ride and see if that doesn't improve our communication. I have to think that a lot of the problems we were having in this session had to do with me. I make sure to give him a lot of breaks. He's done everything I ask him to do. He's trying very hard to do all the things that I ask him to do, and make sure to take some breaks. Give him a break from all the information that I'm telling him. My feet kept slipping out of the stirrups, and I just didn't feel very comfortable in my feet. My seat felt much more comfortable, and I was able to focus on the way his body felt under me, and I felt more secure, but my feet were not at all secure in these stirrups. So I'm hoping by adjusting them that will help. But I did really enjoy riding with this saddle. My intention with this ride was to test out the new saddle, but also to ride him with a little bit of contact on the bit. I am not quite sure yet what the right length is to get him in the correct position, so that's something that we're working on. I would like him to be able to round out his back and build the muscle in his top line, so that he can support me. We're both working on our physical fitness. My goals for 2024 include fitness for both of us. So he starts looking a little bit more relaxed, and I start asking him for a little bit of a faster walk, and he gives it to me. Especially going to the right, he gives me the additional speed that I ask for. Watching the video back, I can tell that when he gives me the extra speed, my position goes a little bit more off, which could be causing him discomfort, but it also could be sending the wrong messages. So I'm readjusting in the saddle, and I can see watching this back that clearly those stirrups are way too short, and the reason I can't get comfortable in that saddle is because the stirrups are so short. So I really wish I would have realized that during the ride, but it's always a learning experience, I guess. We take a little break here. I ask him to turn to the left, and he's very resistant. I couldn't figure out why during the ride, but watching this back, I wonder if there was some discomfort in the way that I was sitting. So we just stand. I decided just to stand, and he's got his head lowered and he's chewing on the bit. So I think in watching his behavior, he's processing. I could have taken my feet out of the stirrups, and that may have made him feel better, but he did have a big blowout. And then there's a noise in the distance that catches his attention. It kind of takes his attention off of his processing. And when I'm watching this back, I'm thinking, okay, now it's time to go, now that he's thought about something different. And I guess I picked up on that in the saddle, although I don't know what I was thinking at the time, but it certainly wasn't, okay, now his attention is on something else, so let's go. But watching it back, that was very useful. It's just letting him take a moment to think about it and process it and take a break without me asking him to do anything or telling him to do anything or giving him any additional input. And then he goes right back to work, and he's going to the left just as I have asked him to. All right, so here's my theory after watching the video, my theory with the left side. He is a former racehorse. I think he's probably very well educated on the left side. So in our next ride, we're gonna take all of this information and we're gonna hope to be just a little bit better. If you have not recorded yourself riding, I would highly encourage you to do so. You can learn so much about what your animal is saying by watching them, and sometimes it can be hard to watch your horse from the saddle or know what they're doing, especially as a beginner rider. I'm focused so much on what I'm doing and what I'm thinking, and in reality I'm telling him so many things I didn't realize I was telling him. So we're gonna do better next time. This was not all of our ride. This is just the first 10 minutes or so of our ride. Thanks for joining me for this short video. We'll see you guys later.